What's up, everybody? It's your boy T-Walker, the host in the building. When you see me, you see me. Yes, we're having a great time here tonight. Live audience, let me hear the energy tonight. Come on, come on, come on. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for everybody that's coming tonight to enjoy my brother, man. Welcome to the city, brother.
Thank you. It's good to be here once again. I haven't been here in quite some time.
Come on.
I think the last time I was here for the
Stuffed Shrimp Festival.
This stuffed shrimp festival. Yeah. And before that's a load. And before that, I was shooting a feature film here called Tekken.
Yes, sir.
A martial arts fight film, Tekken. Yeah.
Come on, yeah. So it took you way back, huh?
Yeah.
So let's get to it, because we have some people that's here that definitely adore your work, that loves what you do, man. And we're gonna get to it, because we definitely want to know, who is Darrin Henson? Who is Darrin Henson?
Ooh.
Who is he?
That's a loaded question. He's someone who is still 5 years old. He's someone who still dreams and believes that he can. He's someone who is still in search of his greater good. He's someone who's passionate. And he is someone who is a fighter to the core. And just someone who believes that righteousness will always prevail, even in the midst of chaos.
Wow. Say that one more time, brother. One more time. We need that one more time. We got people recording. We need that one more time. Get them phones out. He dropping nuggets out on that. I'm telling you now. So y'all get them. Say it again, brother.
Again?
Yes.
I truly believe that righteousness will prevail in the midst of chaos, and I mean that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff that's happening now around us, and it is up to us to pull back and not be swept up by the wind of chaos, but it's an opportunity for us to step outside of it, to see what's happening, so we can see what we're going to do about what's happening, by way of fixing ourselves, by way of, as we call it, the shadow work within ourselves, by way of faith, by way of actions, and by way of patience, do we get to see who we are to become. You know, that's a compound word, become. Because once you be it, it comes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yes or yes? Once you be it, it comes. It's a compound word. A lot of times people are searching or fighting for things, but if they spent time on being, remember, we're human beings, not human doings. People get caught up doing instead of being. And when you be, it comes, become.
Nice. For sure. Wow. Y'all ready for tonight? I'm telling you. Man, listen, you're so profound, and you have really put an impact when it comes to pop culture as a black man. And what you told me today earlier, man, that hit me a lot. That hit me seriously, because that should have never happened, if you understand what I'm saying, you know. And it's crazy how God does things. He vindicates us, and how he literally, okay, y'all gonna do that? I got you. Micheal Jackson, Prince, I mean, the greatest that you have worked with, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful that you didn't stop at that moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that you say, oh, okay, cool. I got y'all.
Yeah.
I'm about to get it.
I knew it was time to apply
sure.
the pressure. So for transparency,
Yeah.
we'll tell you what we're talking about. So whether you know or don't know, I mean, you'll know today, but I created the dance Bye 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 for NSYNC. I created that dance. And it is my intellectual property. I own it.
Intellectual property.
And
on,
so with that being said, I'll tell you the story that comes before it. The night of the MTV Music Awards in 2000, I was asked by MTV not to go on stage when if we were to win. I was not to join the group on stage. And so I questioned that, of course. And of course I didn't listen. But I was sitting in the seat. They called for it, and they actually had a man stand next to me, and he told me, "Sir, please do not get up if Bye 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 is called." I got up. I won't tell you I won't bore you with the technicality of what happened before I got to the stage, but I got to the stage, and you understand? And I made my way to the stage, and I was on the right-hand side from the focus of the audience, but it was actually stage left. And I walked all the way over to stage right where Macy Gray, LL Cool J, and the group NSYNC were. And if you actually see that when we win the MTV Music Award, you'll see me in the midst of the guys, and they're like grabbing my head, putting me in a headlock, and just hugging me because it was a huge night. We won, you know, every category, including Best Choreographer. Yeah. And that day I was blacklisted on MTV. Yeah, so I had never done an MTV program after that because they didn't want me to be on stage in that moment, because that was going to be a legendary moment that would surpass, you know, I mean, it's synonymous with pop culture. And I made sure that I was there. I made sure my face was there. I made sure people saw me. I made sure people knew me. And I thought that it was just, I can't even explain what I felt when they asked me not to go on stage. The programming that was created up at MTV, I assisted in some of the programming that was up there, that was happening, and I was involved. And if you know, you know, and if you were old enough at that time to see me, you know, I did a lot of MTV shows. So I was just in awe when they said don't go on stage. But I went, and the world got to see me. And then the following year, I created what the world got to know as Darrin's Dance Grooves, the instructional dance video. Do you remember that?
So yes, sir.
that was my, you know, here you go, MTV. And we utilized, you know, the song, the footage, the dance for the DVD, and it became one of the biggest things in America. If you remember, at that time in 2001, it was probably on every television, as seen on TV, one of the biggest Christmas gifts for 2 years. And I won the MTV Music Award, and 26 years later, it's still being celebrated. Yeah.
And that's amazing. You know, that's amazing. But we want to know, you know, you're not from Texas, you're not from Georgia,
not from Kansas.
You're not from Kansas. Tell them where you're from, bro.
Huh? I'm born and raised in the Bronx.
The Bronx, huh?
Anybody from New York?
New York? Okay.
Not one person?
Nobody.
Usually you get one person.
Nah.
Any Tauruses in the building? One Taurus?
Okay.
I got one Taurus in the building. She got a Taurus rising. That ain't a Taurus.
It's all right.
Wow, I'm over.
Right.
I was born in the Bronx to a wonderful mother. If you're going to be at the film tomorrow, you'll see a lot of that. A lot of my stories in the film, which I'm very proud of, the untold Darrin Henson story.
Yes.
But I was born and raised in New York City, in the Bronx, and the home of hip hop.
Yes, sir.
And I grew up at a time where you had the Commodores, you had the Four Tops, you had Teddy Pendergrass, you had Diana Ross and the Supremes, you had James Brown, you had, Africa Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation. Like I grew up at a point in time where true hip hop was being created, and I grew up with John Travolta. I grew up watching The Wizard of Oz and my favorite movie in the whole world, West Side Story, which is one of the reasons why I danced, because of that movie. I grew up watching the Jackson 5 and the Jackson. Anybody remember the cartoon the Jackson 5 used to have? Y'all remember that? An American Bandstand, Gilligan's Island, the Jeffersons, Good Times.
Good time.
During that era.
Yeah, man.
And so I grew up to a mom who was single.
Wow.
Unfortunately, there was a lot of hardships in the household. I remember being put out of our house at 5 years old, which was the first time I remember them padlocking the door and putting us out we had a Great Dane at that time, my mother and my brother, and they put us out because my mother didn't have enough money to pay the rent. Dad wasn't around. And my father was a very successful horse trainer, thoroughbred horse trainer. And so, they had their issues as couples do. And my father remarried and had more children. My brothers who came under me. I'm my dad's oldest son. And there was a lot we saw. I remember in New York in 1977, the blackout that happened in New York in 1977. I remember the blackout happened, and probably 30 seconds later, people, and all you heard was like windows were breaking in. I remember being literally right around the corner at that time from the Audubon Ballroom where Malcolm X was killed on Amsterdam Avenue, right off of Broadway. And I remember being in Harlem at that time in 77 and remembering what that felt like. And I remember my mom, my mom's like 5'3", 125 pounds soaking wet, right? And my brother and I was very outspoken. I was energetic, and just a dreamer. I used to always have something to say, and I was always involved in something. And so I was that type of child who read books religiously, as they would say. And within those books, I remember the first book I read as a child was The Old Man and the Sea. And one of the things that I remember about that book was, in my mind, when you read in your mind creates the pictures, which was really fun to me. And I remember reading Old Man and the Sea and then Moby Dick. And if you remember how thick that book was, Moby Dick, right? But I remember the colors of the sky, the ocean, the color of the clouds. I remember the thoughts and the ideas that I gave to each character in that book. And that's why I fell in love with vision when I was young, which is why today I say, hold the vision and trust the process. Hold the vision and trust the process.
Hold the vision and trust the process.
And I was that type of child. But I loved music and I loved dance. If we had nothing else in the house, we had music and dance. And because of the era at that time in the 70s, it was about performance. And so I practiced every day. I used to look at television through a mirror and I would practice my dance steps. That's how I learned how to dance, because we didn't have any money for dance school.
Yeah.
And I would practice the dance steps in the mirror and learn the dance to West Side Story, The Wizard of Oz, and all these kind of films. And that's how I originally learned how to dance.
Wow. Talented. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Pregnant with Thought. I brought that book for a reason. And I'm gonna hold on to it, because what did you tell me? I'm still gonna ask him some questions,
Yes,
but I have
sir.
to get to that right here, right quick, because I want to show you how valuable this guy is. This book that I have right here, I got that in 2019. And right now, tell them how much that book is worth right now.
That book is being sold for $500. Clearly, it's a collector's item. Right? I don't know if y'all saw this cover, but I wilded
Yeah, my
out
dad
on
has
my
one, yeah.
Kanye West at this time.
Yes.
So I thought, the book is called Pregnant with Thought. And I thought at that time, I think it was in 2020 I did this book,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, 2019, 2020, I don't remember. But I said, man, Pregnant with Thought. I should do a pregnant belly on the cover. That's controversial. It would be if it was the right time. Timing is everything. I think right now, this book, you wouldn't be able to keep it on the shelf. But
Right.
at the time that it came out was the Me Too movement, was the movement where, women really started saying, look, man, we're tired of you telling us what to do with our bodies. And so it was the wrong time to put this cover out, because when I was doing book signings, women were going, men can't have babies. And then you had women who were transitioning but still having babies on testosterone. So they had hair. So they were saying men can have babies. It's like, stop, right? Like, stop. You're a woman having a baby, even if you're transitioning into something else. You're a woman having a baby because men can't have babies, right? So it was that whole argument. And so it was the wrong time to put this cover out. And so I discontinued the book, and now it's a collector's item. So the people that did buy it, some of the people now are selling it for $500. And I'm like, well, congratulations, have at it.
Keep in mind.
It's really about the information in the book. Because being pregnant with thought, it came from me thinking about how important it is. And I likened it unto having a child. Once you're pregnant, you have to take care of yourself, right? Then you have to have the baby. You can't stay pregnant. The baby has to be born. Once the baby is born, the job is not done. Now you have to nurture the baby. Then that's not done. The baby grows up. The baby has to learn how to walk and talk. And what that is the legs of your life. Meaning, if you have a desire to do something, you're pregnant with thought. Now you incorporate. Now you get ready for this baby to be born. Once the baby is born, you have to do what? Nurture it. That's advertising, right? Once you advertise, people will come. Hopefully you've created something that's going to solve a problem. When you do that, the baby doesn't stay the same age, it grows. You have to grow your business. You understand what I'm saying? So Pregnant with Thought was about ideas, programs, thoughts, actions, results. The way your mind is programmed is how you think is how you act becomes a result of your life. And so I wanted to create something that made a difference in people's lives. I mean, that's why I started writing books in the first place. It was the very first book that I wrote was called Intimate Thoughts in the Spirit of Change. And I wrote that book out of pain. It's a book of poetry. And I was going through a lot of pain. I moved out of my house at 16 years of age because I felt I was being mentally, and physically abused by my mom. And when I say physically abused, meaning I got tired of her scratching my face, grabbing my throat, you know, that kind of stuff. I got tired of the mental abuse. I remember when I was in the 8th grade, she put me on punishment for a month, right? But later on, I realized what all of it was about. And I remember she didn't let me go to my 8th grade prom because I was on punishment. But then I realized when I got older, she didn't let me go because she didn't have money to buy clothes in order for me to go to the prom. But I snuck out anyway, went to the prom. And then I remember years later, she said, "What is this from?" And I said, "Oh, that was the 8th grade prom," because I forgot. And she was like, "You were on punishment." But I went anyway. And, you know, we laughed about it later on. I said I wasn't going to miss my prom. I remember when I graduated high school, I didn't go to prom. I didn't do any of that. I didn't care. I just wanted my diploma because I wanted to travel. I was always that type of person because of the books that I read, wanted to travel. Today I speak Spanish, Japanese, and French. And I don't say that to impress you. I say it to impress upon you that when you have a desire, see it through. Again, I learned Spanish because I wanted to know what people were talking about.
Wow, come on.
I learned French because I went to France to work
Worldwide, bro.
as an entertainer.
Worldwide, come on, man.
And I learned Japanese because I lived in Japan as an entertainer.
Come on, bro.
And so all of these things came from this. And this is what I'll say about my mom. My mom grew up in a time in the 1940s where it was very difficult for a mulatto woman. My grandmother is Italian, Caucasian, and my grandfather was black. My mother is mulatto. And so that was very difficult for her, right? So there was this thing called the paper bag test years ago. If you were lighter than the paper bag, you passed for white. That was my mother's situation. But my mother was the blackest person you knew. And she dated black men. And so she had a rough time growing up in the 40s and the 50s, and clearly what was going on in the 60s. And then you got free love in the 70s and everybody found drugs, right? And so there was a lot of that going on. And what happened was my mother, when she was young, her mother didn't raise her. Her mother gave her away. And so she was raised by hustlers. And so she was raised in an orphanage and the hustlers and that kind of mentality. My mother didn't graduate the 6th grade, but she did the best she could. Now, a lot of this stuff I learned later on, so that's why I never held her to any difficult standard. Again, when I was 8 years old, we had encyclopedias in the house. I knew which fork to eat with. I knew the salad fork from the food fork.
Come on, brother.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
We always had clean clothes on our back. We were always dressed impeccably. Yeah, the rent wasn't paid all the time, but that was by way of my dad not being responsible for his son. And my mom did the best she could. So one of the things that I remembered growing up was I was never going to allow that to happen to me. That happened 3 times by the time I was 12.
Wow.
I remember 12 years old, we had to move again to the place that we wound up staying, and I grew up where I say I lived in the Bronx. And so we moved to this place called Noble Avenue, 1333 Noble Avenue. It's in the documentary.
Yes, sir.
Grew up a couple of blocks from Bronx River where Africa Bambaataa would always do the Zulu anniversary jams. And I remember at that time saying that I was going to become somebody and my father was going to have to deal with me because I was going to be famous and he was going to see me. I never wanted to go to college, but I was actually teaching in college, right? I got my doctorate degree later on. I remember saying to myself that nobody would ever be able to put me out of something because I would own it. So I valued money at that time. I understood what currency and respect for money would give me. But I knew I wanted to be an entertainer and I knew I wanted to work with Micheal Jackson.
Come on, brother.
I graduated DeWitt Clinton High School. Y'all still with me? I graduated DeWitt Clinton High School, and as I graduated high school, the year before I graduated, I was always in theater workshop classes. I was always dancing, and a teacher named Sandra Skotnick said, we have a relationship with Castleton State College. They're looking for some break dancers. Darrin, I want you to choose 2 of your friends. You're going to go up to Castleton State College and do a performance. That was my first professional job, $125.
Come on, bro. That was good.
I met Scott Sterling at Castleton State College. You guys know him as DJ Scott LaRock. So he became my first manager. When Scott graduated from Castleton State, he went to work in a group home. Who lived in that group home?
Come on.
KRS-One.
Come on, man.
KRS-One and Scott got together. Now, Scott was already a DJ. That's where Boogie Down Productions were performed.
Oh, wow.
I, along with my other friends, were part of a group called B-Boys in Action. Scott LaRock became our first manager. We toured all over Vermont. Scott, unfortunately, was killed a few years later. Mm-hmm. When I graduated high school, I joined the circus. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Come on, man.
True story.
Y'all getting all of it tonight.
I didn't run away to the circus. I graduated first.
Right. He educated.
I promise you, I was in a group called Live Action Squad.
Wow.
And we toured for a year in the United States.
Yeah.
And then we joined the Gold Unit, which was going to Japan.
Wow. So
they paid for everything. I lived in Japan, I worked in Japan, and I learned Japanese. And that was the beginning of really entertaining, because you had 16,000 people in Madison Square Garden where we performed.
Facts.
Right? Then I came back from Japan. I joined the Club MTV show called Club MTV with Downtown Julie Brown.
Yeah.
If you remember that, you saw me on there a lot. That's when they used to call me Pop Crazy.
Yeah.
From there, and here's where everything changes. When I was on Club MTV, there was a show called Donahue. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, Donahue. Come on.
We were on the Donahue show. At that time, they were honoring dance and choreography. There was this Brazilian dance troupe called Oba Oba. At that time, The Material Girl by Madonna was out. A guy named Shabba-Doo from the movie Breakin' was the choreographer for Madonna.
Come on.
He was larger than life to me.
Facts.
I got to meet Shabba-Doo. He was Ozone in Breakin'.
Yes.
I followed him around. This is where life changes. I followed him around like a puppy. He took me under his wing, mentored me, told me that he knew about a Broadway play coming to Broadway, introduced me to the director. I auditioned. At 21 years old, I was on Broadway as an actor. That was the very first thing I did as an actor. And I have to say this because I love him so. When I performed on opening night, the first person to stand for me was Gregory Hines in the front row.
Oh, man. The GOAT. The GOAT.
So at 21 years old, I was on Broadway. I had already lived in Japan. I spoke Spanish and Japanese, and I had not seen my father.
Wow.
But I had done all of these things, and this is what I'll say. Do not hold on to anger. Release it and let go, and let love lead.
Come on, brother.
Leave your heart open and allow whatever's going to happen, happen. My dreams kept coming true, coming true. I came back from Japan. I was on Club MTV. Now I'm on Broadway. Then I spoke with a director, Classic Concept Productions in New York City, asked him if I could choreograph. He kept my number. I kept bothering them. Don Newkirk came along. Color Me Bad came along. I choreographed Sex You Up.
Yeah, I wanna say
Lisa came along, choreographed Let the Beat Hit 'Em.
Come on. Oh.
CNC Music Factory came along, choreographed Things That Make You Go Home, New Kids on the Block.
Come on, New Kids.
No More Games. I did all of this before
Classics.
I worked with Micheal Jackson. In 1995, I was working with Montel Jordan because I was his dancer for This Is How We Do It. Remember that?
No.
If you remember the Nutty Professor, we're in the Nutty Professor dancing.
Okay.
If you remember that part. During the time, to show you how good God is and why you got to follow your gut, why you got to follow your EMS, your Emotional Guidance System, your EGS, Emotional Guidance System. Trust your gut. I'm pretty much a loner. I've always been that way. It's lunch break on the Nutty Professor. I walk. Everybody stays. It's my first time in Universal. I'm like, I'm going to walk around. I trust that.
Right.
I'm from New York.
Facts.
I'm in Universal Studios.
Right.
I walk around. I walk on this set.
Oh, don't tell me, bro. Oh.
I walk on this set. This guy goes, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to be." He goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm working with Eddie Murphy." I'm working with Eddie Murphy. I was Montel Jordan's dancer. We were in Eddie Murphy's movie, but I wasn't working with Eddie Murphy. I'm working with Eddie Murphy. He was like, "Oh." I had walked onto this huge white set.
Man.
And I said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I'm not supposed to tell you, but we're shooting a music video here." Guess whose set I walked on? I walked on Micheal Jackson's Scream set.
No! Scream?
The choreographer was Travis Payne. Look how dreams come true. You got to follow your heart. Always wanted to work with Micheal Jackson. I was just about done with Montel Jordan. He told me about the audition that was coming up.
Bro.
I auditioned for Micheal Jackson in September. I leave Montel Jordan. Montel's wife was like, "Who you going to go work with?" "Montel Jordan's the biggest artist in the world." I said, MTV Music Awards come up. Y'all remember Dangerous?
Yes.
I'm one of the dancers in Dangerous with the black hat, the red gloves. And so I auditioned for Micheal Jackson, make it, so now all of my dreams come true. Because I kept going, growing, and glowing.
Growing,
and glowing. You go through it so you can grow through it, so you can ultimately glow through it.
Wow. Got chills on that, bro. Wow. That's good, bro. Yeah. Wow.
And that is how, for me, although I was dancing and choreographing, while we were out in Hungary in Budapest doing the history video, remember with all the soldiers? Micheal Jackson sent for me. I mean, I talk about it. You guys got to come see the movie tomorrow.
Please, 7:30.
He starts talking to me, tells me stuff. Come see it in the movie. You'll see it. And it was amazing because that gave me everything that I needed to do what I did to become the world-renowned choreographer that I became.
Yeah.
So that's my dance choreography journey that led all the way up to the MTV Music Award.
Yeah.
Because you can't be what you can't see. You can't be what you can't see, but you have to be able to see it in your mind's eye before it manifests in the physical world. That's why you can't be selfish enough to hold your gifts for yourself. You've got to give your gifts away. They're not just for you.
Wow, man. Wow.
You've got to do what's in your heart because that will birth the seed that will grow for somebody else to eat the fruit from. You've got to do what you came to do. You've got to do it. You can't be what you can't see.
You talking, bro. You talking.
You know, one of the things that I want to share with you, I know you have tons of questions, but one of the things,
bro, we flowing, man.
That,
we flowing.
that,
I'm
that I
loving
wanted
it,
to share with you,
Flow, bro.
Because the abundance of
bro.
people in the room are women.
Yeah,
and
man. Come on.
You create life. You are creators. So I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but you know, when people say you're goddesses, don't shy away from that. We have a pastor here. He will correct me if I'm wrong, but in the Bible it says ye are gods. You're not the God, but ye are gods. And so what does that mean? Generator, operator, destroyer. Generator, energy. Operator, direction in life. And you have to destroy the old you to become the you that you want to be. Because whatever you desire requires a new you. Whatever you desire requires a new you, because whatever you desire, if you don't have it, the energy is a higher vibratory frequency. In order for you to get what you desire, you have to match with that frequency of what you want. You can't have anything that you don't match. And if you get it and you don't match it, you will lose it. That's why they say a fool and his money shall soon part. Does that make sense? And so what I'm saying here to you today, as I said earlier, I'm not here to impress you, but to impress upon you. I'm just a guy from New York who had big dreams, who realized that faith without works is dead, meaning I must apply myself. I was talking to knowledge. I said, oh, once you know, you got to jump off the ledge.
Come on, brother.
Y'all didn't get that. Knowledge, once you know, you got to jump off the ledge. But what's the jumping? The jumping is taking action. You've got to take action. If you desire something in your heart for yourself, know that to be true for you. That means you deserve it. You are already more than enough. You already have great meaning. Your purpose, what is your purpose? People ask that question all the time. I put it in the books. It's very simple. Follow your passion and you will find your purpose. Because your passion will bring you to your purpose. But if you don't follow your passion, how do you find your purpose? You find your purpose through your passion. I tell people, if you want something to happen, get passionate. Get passionate about something. Then things will happen.
Get passionate.
You want something to happen in your life, start moving. Get up. I call it the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Has anybody ever heard of it? You don't want to get out the bed? You don't want to move? Program yourself. Rocket ship. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up. Then do it again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm up. Now get moving. Get moving. I don't care if you just start walking. Walk. But get moving. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. When you do that, you program yourself and you teach yourself not to pay attention to your emotions, because emotions are misleading. Emotions change all the time.
He's speaking, bro.
But your purpose does not. You may not want to work out, but your purpose will tell you it don't matter what you feel like doing. You got to turn your shoulds into must.
Yes.
Because you say, I should get up. I should work out. I should eat right. I should make the phone call. Most people should all over themselves. Most people should all over themselves. Turn your shoulds into must. I must. And then write down why. Because when your why is strong enough, you'll get it done. The problem is most people don't have strong enough whys. I put the why in front of everything. Why do I want to be successful? Because I never want to be put out. Why do I need to ask myself more than anybody could ever ask of me? Because I don't want lack and limitation in my life. Why do I want to go the extra mile? Because then I'll be prepared for anybody or anything. Why do I want money? Because of what money can get me. Why do you want that? Because it creates freedom. Why do you want freedom? Because that's what I was born to be, free. If you don't push yourself to work hard enough for freedom, you will be a slave to somebody or something. People say, don't be lovers of money. I don't love money. I love what money can do.
What money can do. Open doors.
If you think about our ancestors, those ancestors, the ones that chose to work hard and long to buy their freedom because they wanted to create a path for themselves of rest. When you have more than enough, you can rest. When you don't have more than enough, you have anxiety, you have tension, you have high blood pressure. But if you follow all of those symptoms, you'll always find somebody who did not say, I must. They said, I should.
I should.
And they're laying in a bed of should. So find your must, and that's where you'll find your passion, and it will bring you to your purpose. And I say that with everything inside of me. Stop blaming God for everything. You are here. God did the hard part. Remember, he left you room for choice. You make the choice. You make the choice to do or not to do. Does that make sense? And remove this word out of your vocabulary. Try. There's no such thing.
Try. Come on.
I'm going to prove it. Can I get somebody to assist me real quick? Anybody? Yes, come on up.
You good, you good, you good, yeah.
What's your name?
My name is Bird. Nice to meet you.
Give it up to Bird. I want to show you something because visual aid is really important. Try to take this book out of my hand. I didn't say take it out. I said try to take it out. You took it out again.
Okay.
You a little confused? You know why? Because there's no such thing as trying. Either you take it out or you don't. I'm going to show you something else real quick. Do you understand what just happened? Yes. Either you do or you don't do. There is no trying. Remove it from your vocabulary. All right?
Come on, bro. Talk, bro. Cheers.
Is the glass half
Remix.
is the glass half empty or full? I'm gonna ask the question again. Is the glass half empty or half full? See, y'all think y'all cute. And the reason y'all think y'all cute is because you think this is about a pessimist or optimistic point of view. It was a trick question. I gave you only two options.
Two.
See, the person telling the story is the one that controls it. That's why you gotta get your own narrative. So watch this. I asked you, is the glass half empty or half full? Meaning, it can only be one of the two. That's how I presuppose the question. The ones that said it's half full
Over there. I got it. I got it.
want to be the optimist. The ones that said, well, it's half empty, they call you the pessimist. The reason I said it's a trick question is because most people only focus on what they can see.
The things that happen in life are unseen before they are seen. So most people only focus on what they can see. But it is in the unknown that things are born. It is in the unseen that things are born. You can hear my voice, but you can't see my voice.
Don't turn mine down.
You can feel the wind, but you can't see the wind.
Can you hear him?
You can feel my energy, but
Yeah.
you can't see my energy.
Come on, bro.
So what I'm going to say to you is this. It was a trick question. I asked you if the glass was half empty or half full. And so you focused on what you could see. But the glass is full. Well, how so, Darrin? It's filled half with liquid and the other half is filled with air. Let's go. So if you only focus on what you can see, you close your mind's eye for a second. You breathe. And I could say the number 5. Did you see the number 5? Yes. But you saw it. But I didn't write it down. But you saw it because it went further than the 3 dimensions. You understand? Yes. So what I'm presupposing, or what I'm saying to you, is this. You want to become a DJ? Study DJ, study music. You want to become an author? Study writing. Love language. You want to become a cameraman? Get a camera and start shooting.
Facts.
You want to be a dancer? Start moving.
Yes.
You want to be a writer? Start writing. You want to be a stylist? Get a bunch of different clothes and put different patterns together. Now it's cool to wear polka dots and stripes.
I do
You
it.
couldn't do that years ago. What I'm
Facts,
saying to
yeah.
you is, let's move away from just focusing on the black mirror that we call a phone. And breathe for a second. And get a piece of paper and some lead or some ink and write down what it is that you want to do. And after you figure that out, write why you want to do it. If your why is strong enough, you're already on your journey. Do that because you're worth it. Do
Wow.
it because it's your dream.
Wow.
I'm sitting in your dream right now. It's so
Yes, sir.
amazing.
Thank you, brother.
This is beautiful.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And as I sit here, I'm reminded of Dave Chappelle when he said, you have to be wise enough to know when you're in somebody else's dream.
Wow.
And so it's so beautiful to me that I'm here with you and you all. And you can hear what I'm saying. And it's resonating with you in your life. Because I choose and desire to utilize my life because I've learned the secret. It's not a secret. Feel good about the life that you have. Be grateful about the life that you have. Be passionate about the life that you have. Share your gifts. Givers get more. It is not better to give than to receive. They teach you that. The only person that will teach you it's better to give than to receive is the one receiving.
My God, man.
They both need each other. Another visual aid. Watch this. I'm going to be the giver. You be the receiver. Giver, receiver. Now I'm going to turn it over. You become the giver and I the receiver. They both need each other. Every giver needs a receiver and every receiver needs a giver. One is not better than the other.
That's good, bro.
I'm going to give it back to you.
I told y'all. That's one thing that we have here when we have intimate nights. You know, this is something that I've always wanted to just have a place where everybody can feel safe, have a open mind to hear what the person in front of the camera on the mic has to say. And bro, you've oh man, I know you said a mouthful, bro. Real talk, and I'm so thankful, man, for the anointing that you have, because that's what I wanted y'all to see. I wanted y'all to see the anointing on his life, because he's not just a singer. I mean, it could be. You sing? Ooh-wee, can't sing. No. The acting and the dancing, he's more than that. He's a king, and I'm so proud to know him as a king. And bro, salute to you, brother. Yeah, man. So because I had some questions and things like that, but hey, he has said a mouthful, and I can't wait to see this again, because I can't wait to put it out, because what you have said tonight, man, is really going to bless the world. It's going to bless some people, and I hope he blessed y'all tonight, right? Yeah. Yes. Standing ovation. Yes. Yes. So we definitely want to, Knowledge is going to pass the mic around, and if anybody have any questions, he's definitely going to answer those questions for you. So Knowledge, find the first person, and just raise your hand, and we get you. So we just take a turn, take times, and we got you. You ready? Yeah. Okay. There go to my, yeah. Appreciate you. Cade in the building. Yeah, I give it up to my brother, Cade. Good morning, Shreveport in the building. Oh.
First of all, I just want to thank
We got your bird. We got you.
Y'all hear me?
Hello. Is it on, bro? Yeah. You sure? Turn it up some more.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first of all, I just want to thank Darrin for everything. Man, you uplifted me.
Come
I'm gonna speak
on.
for me, but you uplifted me with everything you said. But my question is this: with everything that is going on, and with people, I was gonna say, I know we're dealing with the deportation, but as for Black America, we've lost so much with the DEI and so many things, federal jobs. How do we, in our daily walk, stay positive? If you could prioritize, what would you say the first thing that we would do, just in a hierarchy, to keep going with so much we've lost doing everything? Because I was one of the federal people that was shut down as well.
That's a great question. The first thing I will say, if you give up on Monday, there is no Tuesday. You don't give up. You didn't come here to give up. You came here to learn. You came here to express. You didn't come here to sit down and be idle. What we see in society, unfortunately, people for some reason feel like they have no power. You are filled with nothing but power. You are pure energy beings. Do you know that what you speak resonates in the universe like a stone thrown in the ocean, which is perpetual and has a constant reaction? We were talking about that today. We said if we would stop and meditate and pray individually, and if we did that collectively, do you have any idea the vibrational change that would happen? But what's going on is people feel like they don't have any power, so they do nothing. When those other people, what they're doing, we think they're just doing it from a political perspective. They're doing it from an energetic perspective, right? You know, in the scripture, it says, where two or more are gathered, there also I am, right? It's the same thing. Where did we forget that? When did we forget that? Prayer meetings, prayer vigils, meditations, right? We say, well, what can we do? Look at everything we've done. Look at everything we've created. You know, when you know, it upsets me to see certain things happening in our society. Like, okay, you know, we're going to boycott Target. Great. Like, okay, great. Like, how does that change our lives? It doesn't. But if we truly stop spending money for 2 weeks, it would break companies financially. Then they would give you everything you wanted. But because we are not disciplined anymore, We are not disciplined. We are not disciplined with what we eat. We are not disciplined in how we act. We are not disciplined with how we spend our money. That right there is what is costing us more than we could ever possibly imagine because of our lack of discipline. That cost. If we said, listen, we are not spending money for a week in this grocery store. And the society said, all right, we're going to go shopping, but for 2 weeks, eat what's in your cabinet. And we took that serious. They would roll out the red carpet for us. It's because of us not participating in our power, which is our dollar. It's very simple what it is. They did it in the 60s. They didn't want us to sit where we wanted on the bus. We put the bus companies out of business. That's why they let us sit where we wanted to on the bus. It's very simple. Economic power is the power that you're looking for. Yes.
No, you good. You good. Just leave it on.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, we got, yeah.
So I have a ticket to the workshop tomorrow, and this has been great, but it's a lot deeper than I expected it to be. So I feel like maybe I need to prepare for the workshop tomorrow. Can you just give a little bit of like what we can expect and how I can prepare myself for that tomorrow?
You're talking about the acting workshop?
Yes.
Bring tissues.
Okay. I had some for today.
Oh, yeah, she was
I'll get
on.
some more.
Yeah, she was.
Thank you.
Yeah, she was
We're
on
going
it
to do
tonight.
an exercise tomorrow in the acting workshop called the 5-year-old you. It's one of the most, I take acting classes from Susan Batson and Susan Batson Initiates. And what I'm telling you, if you know anything about Susan Batson, if not, look her up. She's one of the greatest acting coaches of all time. And this is what I say. Have you ever seen a good movie? Everybody.
Yeah, yes,
Have you ever seen a bad movie?
yes.
The reason that you say yes to both of those is because you know a good movie and you know a bad movie. One of the reasons that we say a movie is bad is because you don't believe anything the person's saying or the people are saying in the movie because it's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
In truth, you have public persona, personal flaw, your mask, your public persona, right? And you have your personal flaws. As actors, anybody watch The Family Business here? Okay. What was that, a rhetorical question?
Yes,
So
sir.
in the Family Business, you have a strong, black, wealthy family with a lot of problems, right?
A lot of 'em.
That's the Duncans do not have a lack of problems. They got a lot of problems,
Yeah.
right? But the reason that you believe Chippy is because you can feel her. The reason that you believe LC is because you can feel him.
Yeah.
And even when you're mad at Orlando, you can feel how passionate Orlando is. Even if you don't agree with everything that he's doing, you can still feel him. When you watch a really bad movie or a bad TV show, the people haven't done their work. And so tomorrow's acting class, you're going to work.
Come on.
And it's amazing. And you'll see the difference between real acting, which is not acting at all. It's getting to the truth of a scene. Never get caught acting. You're welcome.
Anybody else? Yeah. Anybody?
Please.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, we got two more. Yeah, we got two more. Come on.
I guess I'll ask from the dancer point of view. I just want to say thank you. This story was crazy because you were talking about using the mirror to dance, and I was almost in tears because that's what I did with you. So I just want to say thanks. So my question is, hers is from the acting perspective. Mine is from the dancer's perspective. You give the message of just get up and do. What do you do when your creativity, your artwork is is your true expression of yourself, and you go through things in life, and you have, I guess as a creative, my question would be, how do you work through the blockages of getting back to where it is? I haven't danced or picked up a violin in 6 years, but there's a dance studio literally across the hall from my apartment, and it burns me. I've been like getting my feet together to go back on point, and I'm just like, all right. And now I see you, and I'm like, well, I guess it's
I
time to go.
love that.
It's time to go. So yeah.
Give her a round of applause, you guys. That is such a great question. The answer to that is, I was just a vessel, and I just would feel the music. I never thought about dance steps. I just felt like, okay, this feels good.
Facts.
Okay, this feels good. Ta 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 ta. Bah. Okay, this feels good. Like I would literally get up, and I wouldn't listen. Like the music that they have today, it really doesn't move me. Like I've got to listen to music from back then, right? And like I'll listen to something. It might have been, you know, ta 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 boom boom ba, right? You know, or ta 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 boom, right? Whatever it is, ta ta ba ba ba, whatever, right? And I was like, how does that feel in my body? Or, you know, you could go ta 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 boom ha ta ta whatever. I'm like, did that feel good with the music? Yes. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, or and 5, and 6, and 7. Next. Ta 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 boom ta boom cow ta ta coupe ba. Ooh, that felt good. I literally would piece it together like that. And I would do it with music that drove me. So what I say is the music is really the heartbeat, right? It's really the magic. And just start moving. Just start moving again. A couple of months ago, I wanted to just dance again. So I choreographed this song by T-Pain and what is her name? It's called Nothing Lasts Forever. What is the name of that song? Nothing Lasts Forever. Nothing Lasts Forever. It'll come to me. But the song is called Nothing Lasts Forever. I promise you, I put that song on as loud as I could get it, and I wound up choreographing a whole video, and I put it out, and it was so much fun because I just wanted to dance again. Like I needed to dance again, and it felt so good. Just turn on some music, turn it up as loud as you can get it, and just start moving, and your body will remember. I promise you that. Jordan Sparks. Jordan Sparks. It's called Nothing Lasts Forever. And I danced my ass off. I got a bunch of people. I was like, you want to learn some choreography? They were like, with you? And I was like, yeah. We went and we did a whole music video. Just move. Put some music on and move. Move.
Yeah, one more question.
Hey man, what's up? What's up? I was listening to you tonight. You know, you and I had an in-depth conversation earlier today. And ladies and gentlemen, I hate you guys weren't able to listen to it because we had nuggets in the studio. And, but it made me kind of think of something that maybe we didn't necessarily touch on then. I want you to elaborate on. When you start talking about us as a people and things that we need to do, togetherness, and I always preach there's power in unison, there's power in oneness. But when we look at our history, you know, years ago, we as a people, we were separated. It was by design. Some of you might know where I'm going. I'm talking about the Willie Lynch letter. So from that standpoint alone, unfortunately, our generations perpetuated the theory of the Willie Lynch letter. Fast forward today, our youth have so many opportunities, so many chances. Now that you're in town, we have this onslaught of the 50 Cent thing that might happen, and you gotta know that there are so many people with aspiration. Once again, to be the camera person, the dance person, possibly even pursuing a career, you know. For those of you that do know, I've been very, very, very blessed in Shreveport. So I know exactly what you're talking about. And those that have been friends of mine for a long time, they know me. But what would you say to those to give them words of inspiration or encouragement that really probably are kind of lost, but have the desire?
That's a great question, and I'm gonna cut it to the chase. I'm gonna talk to you like your grandmother, your grandfather, your mother talked to you. Cut the shit. Cut the bullshit. Take off the mask. When you go home tonight, when you're by yourself, take out a sheet of paper, write down what you want to do and why. Doesn't matter if you're married, not married, engaged, not engaged, single, not single. Doesn't matter. It's about you. What do you want? Because when you waste time, you can't get it back. You can't go backwards, and you can't rush enough to make up that time. It's gone. You could think to yourself, well, it's too late. It's not. What I'm simply saying to you is cut the shit. Get to the chase. What do you want to do and why? Do you want to travel? Then go buy a ticket.
Yes, sir.
You want to learn something? Look up something and figure out how to start what you're learning. Like right now, I'm learning how to play harmonica. Because I've always wanted to play. And I'm like, well, when are you going to start learning? So I went and I got lessons. And I gave myself till September to play a few songs. I'll do it before then because I want to. You have to plan for your success. If you don't plan for success, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Cut the shit. It's time to get the work done. Nobody is getting younger. Nobody's going backwards. Nobody's coming to help you. Figure out what you want to do and why. You are more than enough. You are worth the fight. You are worth the effort. Find out what you want the same way you wanted it as a child. Find out. If you have not gotten it, it means you still want it. You just put it away because you didn't think that you could get it. Generator, operator, destroyer. Generator, get the energy. Operator, direct yourself. Destroyer, remove the old you that says you're not enough. Talk to yourself. I do it all the time. What are you doing, Darrin? What are you doing right now? What can we do to be productive? It may be it's time for you to go to sleep. Get off the phone. Get off the computer. Just sleep. Rest. It may be go use your hands. Go plant a seed in the garden. Like at home, I have a garden. I eat fresh vegetables in the garden, right? That are produced in the soil. Because I got tired of going to the supermarket and getting rubber bananas, plastic lettuce, all of this. If you've seen me on Instagram, you've seen me post it. I've gotten rubber bananas, plastic lettuce, plastic rice. I said I'm gonna start growing my own food. Put your hands in the dirt. If you got a backyard, if you're lucky enough to have a backyard, start growing some of your own food. It may come in handy very soon.
Green thumbs.
Very soon. Prepare and hope that you never need what you're preparing for. How many, if anything happened, if the power went out tonight, if the power went out like it did in Cuba, if the power went out, How many of you have enough perishable food that would last? One person. That's a problem. How many of you, watch this. What do you do if the gas goes out? Go to Walmart and buy about 24 sternos. Sterno. If the power goes out, you got sterno. You can cook your food on sterno. Does that make sense? Go buy beans now. Beans are about $1.89. Go buy 20 bags of beans. You'll spend $30. But guess what? You could keep those beans for 3 years, 4 years. If anything happens, and it's going to happen, it's going to happen. See, people think this whole gas thing, you're going to see what's going to happen in a couple of months. Guess what? Gas makes rubber and gas makes plastic. When they start cutting the gas out, in the Philippines, they already grounded airplanes. In the Philippines, they can't fly now because they're not receiving gasoline. That's going to happen. Start preparing for the worst now. Don't get comfortable. Don't get lazy. Laziness and comfortability is the cousin to failure. If you're hearing it right now, it's because God is warning you through me. I'm telling you this. Don't take anything I'm saying lightly. If you're hearing this, you're supposed to. Start preparing for the worst. Go buy sterno. Go buy pasta. Pasta's $1.50. Go buy a bunch of it and just have it. Go buy one of those bins, put it in the bin, and keep it there and hope you will never need it. But if you do, you'll have it. If you eat nothing but beans and rice, you'll live. If you need hot water, you got sterno. You walk past it every day. People don't prepare for what the possibility is that they don't like. I'll tell you one of the greatest things that you could do for yourself right now. Just because. Learn to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes, sir.
Get in a cold shower every once in a while because you don't like it. Does that make sense? Some of you may say, what does this have to do with this conversation right now?
Yeah.
It has everything to do with this conversation. I told you we were incredibly uncomfortable growing up. We didn't have money. We had a dream and we had focus. We got put out of the house. I said to myself, I was going to work hard, strong, ask more of myself than anybody could ask of me. That way I would always be prepared. What I want for you is success in all things. In order to be successful in all of these things, you have to know what you're willing to give up for your success. It's a trade. You want to be an actor? How many people read daily something outside of social media? You're supposed to. 50 Cent is coming here. Is he coming here? Absolutely. Is it easy what he's doing? No. You got to build studios. You got to get the right people. It takes a couple of years to get all of this done. But watch this. The clock is going to strike 12. It's going to be 27 and 28, and it's going to be here. How many people are going to be prepared?
Facts.
Well, everybody in this room will be.
I will be prepared. Yes, sir.
Everybody in this room will be. And that's the point.
Yes.
We start with ourselves and our families.
Yes.
We start with ourselves. When I ask you, are you willing to do more than you've done in the last year? Raise your hands. Are you willing to ask more of yourself than anybody could ask of you? Raise your hands.
Are you willing to go to the extra
Come on, bro.
mile?
Yeah.
Those are the people that win in life.
Yeah.
The ones that will go the extra
Extra
mile.
mile.
The ones that want to be comfortable are always going to be subjected
Ooh.
to somebody else. There's a saying, if you give a person permission to feed you, you also give them permission to starve you.
Ooh.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Look at this right now. How many people love Morris Chestnut? Morris Chestnut. How many people watch his show? They just canceled it. Did you know that? That show on CBS that Morris had? They just canceled it. Why do you think? I told y'all who just bought Paramount, CBS, right? MTV, BET. It's the same person. They just canceled all the black shows. Morris Chestnut's show was massive. Watson, they
Yes,
just
sir.
canceled it. Don't believe anything I'm telling you. Look it up for yourself. They just canceled it. What I'm trying to explain to you is this. You have to create your own. If you do not, you're subjected to somebody else saying, we don't need you. If the supermarket shut down tomorrow, what would you do if you're not growing your own food? Yeah, of course. We're gonna have to talk to our neighbors. But what I'm saying is if you have the opportunity and you have a backyard, cultivate your backyard. Grow your own lettuce,
Yes,
grow
sir.
your own broccoli, grow your own potatoes. Like I said, go buy beans. It's necessary. Everything I'm telling you, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you for the world ahead. For the world ahead. Look, I've done my research here in Shreveport.
Yeah.
They went around buying all these houses and didn't tell y'all how much oil was underneath these houses out here. But they came and offered people all this money and they were like, how much? And took it. When all that oil, oh my God, do you have any idea? So what I'm simply saying to you is this. We want to see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Because if you want to be entertained and you really want to be inspired, you're going to get that tomorrow. If you want to take an acting class, show up tomorrow. Because you're going to find out things about yourself that you forgot about, that you need to bring about. You're going to get to know the real you again. If you came here because you wanted to meet an actor that you enjoy, I want to meet each and every one of you.
Yes.
If you came here to be inspired, I hope you have been.
Yes.
If you came here to figure something out about yourself, I hope you've remembered who you really are
Yes.
and whose you are. If you came here to be inspired because you are ready to do something new with your life, I hope a seed has been planted, but remember, you got to water it. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you take care and water the grass.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Your glass is not half empty. It's always full.
Oh.
Work from abundance. Work from gratitude. I wake up every day and I give thanks to the Most High because I rose up. If anybody knows me, they know I don't say good morning. I say grand rising because I rose out of bed. We don't mourn out of bed. We rise out of bed. Mourning is associated to death. Words have power. If you give up on Monday, there is no Tuesday, so we don't give up.
Yep.
We keep going. We keep going.
And going.
And glowing.
Energizing. And glowing. Come on.
We ask more of ourselves than anybody could ever ask us. That way we'll always be prepared.
Yes.
We're always willing to go the extra mile. Why? Because then that makes us valuable. Remember, knowledge is only potential power. You have to use the knowledge in order for it to be powerful. It's like a light switch. We know the light switch turns on the light, but we've got to take action to turn it on. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So what I'm simply saying to you, the person that you see sitting in front of you today is a man who was a child who said, I believe in my dreams. So because I believe in my dreams, I have faith that they can come true. Because I had faith, I took action. The action produced results. And now the body of work that you may know are the results of me believing so deeply, so profoundly, with so much passion that they had to come through, because that's a part of the law of cause and effect. It's a part of the law of mentalism. The universe is mental. It's a part of the law of correspondence. It's the part of the law of reciprocation. What you give, you're going to receive, because what goes around comes around. Mm-hmm. And so prepare yourself for the best. Ask yourself to be the best. How far can I go? How much can I do? How much can I push? What can I do today differently than I did yesterday? When you said to me, when you were looking at that building, I said, go get it.
Yes, sir.
Go get it.
Yeah, man.
Everything that I want, I'm going to get.
Get it, yeah.
Do not take no for an answer. Keep going. If you desire something and you call somebody and they say, not right now, say when. And they say, give me a month. Write that date down, call them on that day. And they say, well, I'm not ready. You say, well, give me another date. Then call back on that date. Keep calling until they say no. If you have not sent out 30 emails every day for whatever it is that you're going for, you ain't doing the work. 30 emails or 30 calls every day will produce the results that you want in less time than you thought it was going to take. When people see that you're pushing, they're going to give you what you want, because they're going to see that you value you and you value your position. And when you're there, if it's 5 o'clock, don't leave exactly at 5 o'clock. Be willing to put in the work where you stay at 6 or 7 o'clock. Those are the people that get put in high positions. Why? Because they're asking more of themselves. They're willing to go the extra mile. They're creating value for that company. So you're creating value for yourself. If you work from 9 to 5 and you clock out at 5 and you got paid, you shouldn't expect a raise. You didn't do anything to ask for a raise. But when you apply yourself, don't think it's for somebody else. Know that what you're putting out is helping someone else, so it's going to come back to you tenfold. Just know that for yourself. If you hear nothing that I have to say,
wow,
know that I'm a man, an energy, a spirit, an idea, a thought that thought he could, so he did. Your history is not yet fully written. You still got work to do.
Yes.
It's over when it's over. It ain't over.
Come on.
If you got strength to rise out of the bed, you go home.
Wow.
You write down what you want and why you want it, and start working on it every day. You ain't got to tell anybody, because everybody ain't happy for you. Keep it to yourself. Water it. Let it grow first. And then tell them when they see you doing it. Why you ain't telling me about this? Well, I'm telling you now. That's how you get things done.
Yes, sir. That's good, bro. That's good. Man, y'all give it up for my brother, man. Yeah. Thank y'all for coming. This is your boy T-Vocal, the host. Man, thank you for everybody that has tapped in tonight. Live audience, y'all been, oh man, live all night. Thank y'all again. It is, yeah, this is 9:53, but guess what? Hey, this was some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? We need this in our city, for people like him to continue to pour into us. We need people to pour into us, and we definitely going to receive it, brother, and take it all the way. So thank you again. Much love to you, man.
I love you, bro. Thank you.
So at this time, we definitely about to do some meet and greet. We give us a moment while we transition to this room right here, and then y'all can get y'all photos and all that good stuff. And I know people probably got gifts to give you and all that good stuff and all that. So yeah, so give us a moment and we're going to transition. All right, thank y'all so much again for being on the T Vocal Show tonight. Thank y'all. Much love to everybody. Thank you.